Oh, yeah, baby. All you cool cat and kittens out there in the world, welcome to the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue. A little early. We teased it. We're coming to you a little early. We're not going to be late to this party tonight. And the Broncos are arriving early for the playoffs as well, or I guess maybe the second round arriving early. That we have that in common tonight. So, number one seed. Got a lot of big stuff to talk about here on the greatest, latest edition of the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. Let's go!
Oh, so smooth, the pins to chew, breaking down plays about to debut. Never pride in every view. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Bright lights of my heart in our view. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. From draft picks to game reviews, celebrating wins, analyzing the clues. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. No orange and blue.
Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
Oh, yeah. Here we are.
Baby.
In the flesh. You got our two, your favorite host here. I mean, I'm not the host with the most. I rarely host, and, post-game vibes are usually all up and down. I'm usually not in charge of the car on a steady night like a Tuesday night. So, buckle up and welcome to the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. I am your host, Jay the Dreamweaver. And onto my side here, the host with the most. I mean, smacking onto the scene, the Bronco Grunt. Bronco Grunt, how you doing tonight on Tuesday night? Feeling those number one vibes?
Number one vibes. I mean, man, how great is it that we struggled? Like, let's be honest, we struggled for the last 10 years, right? Since the last time we were in this position, right?
Been a hot second.
So not only to finally just come back in such a way, right? I mean, I just still don't understand how Bo can still be getting so much hate. I don't understand. Like, listen, I'll tell you right now, everybody that's like, oh, he hasn't won a playoff game. If you get a first round bye, you won a playoff game without having to play a playoff game. And to me, that ain't too bad, right? That's at least my take on it. You know what I'm saying?
It's nice to chalk up a dub before you even play a playoff game, but I mean, it's a gimme playoff win. And I mean, we have history to, when we are in the number one seed, when the pathway to the Super Bowl comes through Denver on the AFC side, we have history on our side to prove that we can handle that responsibility and that, we can defend that home field advantage that we rightfully earned. Yeah, man, it's been a pretty surreal look back here on the season, and we're going to kind of touch on, obviously Sunday and like the Charger, game itself. But I mean, we even said this on pregame on Sunday that like, it's not that you're overlooking this game, but like we already have successes baked in before Sunday even happened. And that was just kind of icing on the cake to be able to like see it in reality of being the number one seed and like dominating a specific season that we didn't necessarily expect them to. I mean, I know that my over-under counts for the year got cashed in over the weekend when all the games were over. So it was just nice to kind of look back at the season as a whole. And we'll do that on this podcast as well. So going to be kind of a in and out, short and long view, the micro and the macro, if you will. But before we get into it here, I want to get some housekeeping out of the way, get to our fine friends at W. I always come to bear with the canister in itself, but I don't get to tell the story of W. And we've been friends. We've been like this, I guess, crossing my fingers here for quite some time. Over I think 2 years we had W, but man, they're an awesome product, as you see on on screen here. No sugar, no calories, no maltodextrin, no fillers, no artificial flavors. I mean, they've got just a great formula that is healthy for an energy drink standards, but it also tastes really good. And there's a bunch of different flavors. And there's, I personally, I'm a, Galaxy Grenade guy because I love watermelon. I like some of the fruity kind of drinks as opposed to like the hard, like s'mores. I have not ordered yet. It looks intriguing, but I'm just not a s'more guy and like a milk substitute kind of person. You'll never see me drinking Ovaltine, all those, riffraff drinks out there. Can't do it.
Yeah.
But if you want to head over to Dubby, OBN10 is the code. Get yourself 10% off on us. You gotta get
you that free dub like the Broncos got, for being
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
It'll get you drunk, but it won't. It'll just get you energized.
Just get you energized. Like, let's go.
And speaking of energized, I mean, this is just one of many offerings that we have on this network. Y'all should already know us by now, but I mean, please like, share, and subscribe. Find our, content. We have content like every single day a week nowadays, man. It is blown up, I feel like, so quick. And that was another kind of thing about like the end of this regular season is kind of reflecting upon, where this network's been, where this network is, and where this network is going. And, our fearless leader is absent tonight. He's still on the, the back struggle bus. So everybody throw a prayer out there for the Mile High Viking for his recovery. But, he does, obviously everything on the back end, man. And when I show this, all the shows that smack dab in your face, and we've got all the time slots here all throughout the week. I mean, we got the Bros on Monday night. We got, obviously this show on Tuesday night. We've got Symposium on Wednesday. We got Broncos Talk on Wednesday. We got the Oukast guys on Thursday. Viva Los Broncos on Friday. We got Fresh Sweeps, breaking news. And then obviously the I'm gonna say it. It's clusterfuck that is game day of 3 shows just back to back to back. Pretty much once a week. Somebody's going marathon man.
Yep.
But great offerings out there. So literally go subscribe, get those noties on. Chances are you're gonna find something pretty much every day a week from us. So
yeah. Right, and it's all great content. I mean, we've got stuff that's not, this show, right? We're all about Broncos, right? We're all about the NFL, right? Jay, I know you're a big, hockey fan,
yeah, dude.
Nuggets fan, right? Like he knows all about that stuff, but
JT and Doc on the Symposium being able to just have the whole spread. I'm super jealous of them and their format.
Like so
goals.
Yeah. So even in the off season, there's always a season, right? So
it's true.
I mean,
no, that's very true. And I mean, we may have a couple, hiccups here and there from, rescheduling shows and whatnot, but we're pretty consistent on the whole. So, I mean, chances are you're going to get one every single week, 365 throughout the entire year. Not a lot of, networks do that. So,
yeah,
we're always here. But with that, Brett, we didn't get to have your live reaction. Your 50,000 foot view to Sunday's game against the Chargers. How are you feeling about Sunday specific, aside from the overall year superlatives we're going to be thrown out?
So Sunday specific, I mean, it was one of those games that there was no flash, right? It wasn't flashy, right? It was another one of those games that like I watched and I was like, oh man, like all the big leagues are going to be just fraud watch this, fraud watch that, and then I saw something online and it made a lot of sense to me, which was kind of the same thing that we had earlier in the season, right, during the first Raider matchup, right, which was we were playing the Raiders right before we played KC, right, and that was an ugly game, right? We all were like, this is terrible.
The 7-6 game.
Yeah, it was dirty. It was awful, dirty right? Game. Yeah. And then back then someone had said, hey, we're going up against KC, right? We don't want to show them anything going into that game. So we're not going to be flashy. We're not going to show out all of our tricks. We're not going to show our best plays because we know we have an actual harder team to play the next week. I saw again right after that game, someone bring up the point of there is a chance that we see the Chargers in the playoffs, right? They rested all their starters. They rested Justin, right? They didn't have all their starters out there. So why would Sean Payton play his actual game on what was essentially a win by proxy because we didn't have to play to our best abilities, right?
Yeah.
So like it's one of those things to think about, like, hey, is Sean really just out here playing the long game, or worst case scenario, are we still just flying by the seat of our pants, bend don't break, but really getting close to breaking? You know what I'm saying? So it's two things to think about. I do think that, I mean, Sean Payton's been in business for a long time, so it makes more sense to me the better of the two opinions, which is I might see these guys in 3 weeks, right? I might see these guys in 2-3 weeks. I'm not going to pull out all the stops
Hold it to
until
the
it
chest.
actually matters, right?
Yeah. No, I mean that's very true. And we talked about the vanilla play calling, and honestly, I didn't even make the correlation to that Raider game, but like that game we saw on Sunday was probably offensively at least as close as we saw to that Raider game. Like it was very similar. And I mean, like I guess Sean wanted to eat his cake and have it too. In that he didn't want to try in the game. So he had the vanilla play calling, but he also left all his starters out there. So it's like you're kind of trying in the game, but you're really not. It's kind of like a walkthrough, I guess, a true preseason game. All I say is like, Garrett Bull scare. PJ Locke, I guess we don't necessarily fully understand yet the full, how bad his injury is, but like that could have been really bad to get meaningful starters hurt in a game that we're actively not caring about, like strategically not caring about.
So I think I think that's the only reason why we risked those injuries for it, was because it wasn't like last year where it was like we have to beat the Chiefs to just get in the door.
Sure, it
right?
mattered.
It was more of, but it was like, hey, if we do start our secondary, right, and we don't win this game, New England gets the first round, the number 1 seed. They get the bye. We don't. We still want that bye, right?
Yep.
We're going to rest the guys. We're going to have that backside. We're going to really start prepping. We're going to see, because now everybody's going to be playing their hearts out. We're going to see how everybody's playing across the league. So it doesn't matter who we go up against. We get to see everybody play.
Yep.
So like I said, I think the risk was worth it, because especially with our defense, we saw during the season we had injuries on our defense and it didn't slow us down.
True. It's true. But I mean, again, I just didn't want to see anything significant that would hurt our chances in the playoffs. To be accomplished on a game where like even the Chargers weren't trying to win. Like it was literally just a waste of a game. It was, the perfect best case scenario for Sean Payton was to get the W at the same time showing nothing, doing as little as possible to get the W, but getting the W, obviously. And I guess to that point he succeeded, because I mean he scraped by the hairs of his chin. So I mean, good for him, I guess, if that was truly the strategy for the game. I just preferred to have it like last year, where you just put your foot on the pedal for like the first half and just blow them out and have an excuse, approach it like a basketball game where, all right, we're pulling our starters, in the fourth quarter because we're up by 22. I would have liked to see something like that where you solidify the game, pull the starters for the injury aspect instead of 4 full quarters of injury potential. That's just my 2 cents, but we've done it both times now.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get that concept. I think though that, I mean, look at this season, dude. We have not played, like we've had like maybe, I don't know, 4, maybe 5 games where we played from first quarter to fourth, right? And then the other 14 games have been what? Like the second half of the third quarter and the fourth quarter where we just ball out.
Yep.
So another like, all right, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, man, it was an interesting Sunday. We got what we needed to get accomplished, which was get through the game with a W, secure the number 1 seed, but not have any big injuries, not show our hand. Like, really, we did check all the boxes, and it was just really boring football to watch. It was just not entertaining. But sometimes that's what you get in NFL weeks, especially the last week of the season, which is why it is kind of a shame that that lands on a lot of fantasy football championships. Squirrel combo right here, but random soapbox that I think that is crazy that playoffs and championship games are decided by some of these games that don't matter. But aside,
for sure.
Let's get to some comments real quick. We got some of our buddies showing up here. Speaking of the devil, Mr. Dr. Nicholas Manning in the house.
Hello, sir.
Doc, dude. Doc is the greatest. Yoo-hoo is great, man. I love Yoo-hoo. Back in the day, at least. I haven't had a Yoo-hoo in 20 years, probably. But yeah, I could go for one. I mean, it sounds pretty good. Bronco Rob in the house. What is up, brothers? Feeling pretty good. Number 1 seed. Yeah, man, that number 1 seed. It's got a good ring to it. So does 14 wins. That's also. We'll talk about this, later down the road here of big picture perspective of the year. But my God, 14 wins is bonkers, dude.
Also, big shout out to Bronco Rob. He is our Bucking Booth host. And I gotta say right now, I do love the Bucking Booth. I do love when I get to do it. It's really hard because I have 4 children. But when I get to do it, dude, it's so much fun, especially just to kind of hang out with Rob and just talk and mess around while we watch the game and we call out the plays. It's just fun. So big shout out to Rob, dude.
Yep. Rob's the man. Bronco Rob. Speaking of the crew, we also got another part of the crew. Denver Dak, Fanatic Dak in the house. One half of the bros. Man, Dak's the greatest. And good luck to Oregon. Shout out to Oregon Ducks. That's his team.
I'm telling you right now,
in the playoffs.
I'm kind of rooting for Indy. I'm kind of rooting for Indy.
I was going to say, aren't you an Indy fan? You got to be an Indy fan, I would think.
Kind of rooting for Indy. College football, I'm still it's kind of like how I became a Broncos fan. It's just whoever my friends are who watch college football, right? Because the whole reason I became a Broncos fan was because I met Johnny, who obviously Mile High Viking, Denver fan through and through, right? He's like, "You're a Broncos fan now," and I was like, "Okay." It just happened to be the 2015 season. And then so this season I was like, I'm gonna try to get into college football. And my buddy is which it's his birthday today.
Happy birthday.
But he's a Texas Tech fan. So he's a big Texas Tech fan. And so I was like,
tortilla somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I do kind of judge some teams by their fan bases as well. So if someone that I respect, someone I really likes a team, and they're a good person, I like that person, then I associate that team to all right, that team's not too bad. But assholes Oklahoma City Thunder fans, SGA fans, a lot of different, the Westbrook gang out there in NBA Twitter
every
land as
Bama fan that has ever been born and that will be born is
pretty brutal. Cowboy fans in general, Laker fans, Yankee fans. I mean, you got your top most annoying fan bases out there for sure. But shout out Richie Rich, our resident Canadian in the house. Always appreciate him. Go check out the Wild Wild West podcast on MHRT. Those guys are awesome. Where's Broncos Waldo? Dude, I kind of do have a Waldo hat on. True.
They were getting after you in the comments I've seen there for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know what, Richie? That's right. This shirt, we were just talking. Okay, I'm all polo business here. Okay, got a little winter edge up here. little, business casual down here. Okay. Don't be jelly. Putting out the vibes on a Tuesday night. All right. Yeah, dude. A lot of praise for all these guys, man, because I love all these guys.
Dude.
Everybody, putting content out and just, living and breathing this team, man. That's what's nice about having a community like this is like, we all have day jobs. We all have lives. We all have children and pets and litter boxes to empty and day-to-day bullshit. But, we can talk about Alex Forsythe for 2 hours. Good for us. Find someone that can do both.
Which, by the way, just talk about because you said Alex Forsythe, but we all know who my favorite player is, which is Zach Allen. For Christmas, I got a throwback Zach Allen jersey.
Nice. That's pretty sick, dude.
Oh yeah, dude, it's
the 99's got to hit pretty good in that actual orange, the old school orange. Yeah, that's pretty sick. Like that.
I love. I keep seeing posts. It's like everyone's just like, can we just go back? Let's just have the throwbacks just be our uniforms again. And like
I see, but I'm in the camp that if we did it every game, it wouldn't be as special. And it is a treat. It's a special thing to have them put out. So like, I wouldn't want them to be every day. I really like what we got going on with the new design that we have so many combos that we don't ever to repeat ourselves very often.
For sure. And we look better than the Chargers in every uniform. So that's always good.
Obviously. Man, dude, they have such a big L on their forehead for those mustard yellow jerseys they had earlier.
Gross, dude. So bad.
It's so bad. They look like bananas running around.
I will say, what would be awesome to see? We get through the playoffs, right? We win the conference. We go to the Super Bowl. Throwbacks in the Super Bowl.
Throwbacks in the Super Bowl. I saw someone talking about this because I was curious, like, could we wear throwbacks in the playoffs? And I guess there's not you can wear it one time in the playoffs, but it cannot be Super Bowl, is at least what I read on the internet. So I don't know, validity to that, but like we could see throwbacks again, which would be super sick. I would say AFC Championship game. Oh my God, the aesthetics of that would be off the charts.
Would be wild.
Speaking of wild, we got our wild, hype man himself, Shy Vargas, in the house. Always appreciate by dude.
The hype man, dude. Super excited. We get more Get Shiped videos.
Absolutely.
We get more. The season is still alive. We still get to see more Get Shiped videos. Super excited.
Absolutely. Let's see here. So it's not a schmedium, okay? It's more on the edges of the medium large because we have had some stretchage over the years. It is not a new shirt. It's been around the block, okay? So it's extended itself literally and figuratively. But yes. Let's see here. Anybody else? Well, yeah, Bulls did get hurt, but he came back. He's okay. Although injuries happen in the game, I don't consider you hurt unless you didn't come back into the game and you're I don't know, a major question mark for the next game. I have no doubt Garrett Bowles will be playing the next game. I don't think it's that severe, at least, but
for sure.
Let's see here. Oh, Dak's talking shit. Catch me outside. Catch me outside.
I'll tell you, I think it's gonna be. No, I do agree. I think it's gonna be a really good. It's gonna be. I've been watching a lot of Pat McAfee. I was lifting yesterday, and they had Indy's quarterback on the show, on the Pat McAfee show, and I was listening to him, and I mean, it's just been, dude. Pat McAfee's. I can't tell you how many times I have to hear my wife, because again, married into a Colts family, say it all the time.
Sure.
I don't know how many times that I hear my wife you weren't there when Pat McAfee got his own onside kick, and you weren't there. I'm like, oh my! If I had to hear about how Pat McAfee returned his own onside kick for the 18th millionth time.
Well, I mean, wasn't Peyton Manning that famous quote of the jackass kicker comment in the Pro Bowl? I think he got interviewed. I mean, that's basically what he was talking about. I can't imagine Pat McAfee in a locker room, man. What a bro.
Rich coming out, Grunk, give me a call, do it with your team.
Cracking knuckles right now. Absolutely. Yeah, but potentially Chargers, Broncos, both in throwbacks. I would totally be down for that. That'd be at least a good looking game. And hopefully by that time, our offense can get a jolt and we can, have some entertaining football, some fireworks, not this horse manure of play calling that we've been seeing here. A bonkers in the wild, bonkers Broncos in the house. They definitely want to see fans want to see the new uniforms, but I know it's kind of a forced design, because I guess it's not like Broncos country really like shouted from the rooftops that we needed new uniforms. Like I think everyone would have been fine continuing on and just throwing the throwbacks in there with the old uniforms. But appreciate you bonkers for being in the house. Let's see. Oh, Bronco Rob. Richie came in to do two things.
The boys are feisty tonight, dude. The boys are feisty tonight.
Man, are we a live chat on a Tuesday night? Spicy stuff. Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Let's get into this. Let's get into this.
Well, I was going to say, Dax puts us a great bridge here to discuss. I want to get into where we're going here. So let me do a little thing here. This guy right here. Let me put that up. Yep. All right. So we got a little bracket here. So obviously reseeding at the next round, which is pivotal for Denver, we will always get the lowest seed, being the number 1 seed. So I guess do you just kind of want to go through these real quick? Nothing too in depth, but just kind of your 2 cents and who you think's going to win.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Let's start with, I think, is kind of a gimme game, personally. Pittsburgh versus Houston. Pittsburgh won the division, so they have the home field advantage. What do you think on the Texans Steelers?
I mean, gotta give Texas, gotta give Texans flowers, dude. Their defense has been on lock. I mean, so they've got that going for them. CJ, not the greatest, dude. Like, listen,
he's mid.
I don't want to sound like a hater, but like CJ, I think is kind of a little overrated. So offensively, like, yeah, they've got Nico Collins, they've got Higgins, right? Schultz, their tight end Schultz is a good tight end, but offensively, I have seen them struggle to move the ball against a lot of teams versus the Steelers. DK's Metcalf's suspension should be up for this game.
Hopefully he doesn't continue to punch fans. That'd be nice.
I mean, hey, I like
change for you.
My football,
Love that for you, DK.
But when we're talking about this is very possibly, quite possibly, Aaron Rodgers last year, right?
Thank God.
So like, it could be. All right, we never know. All right, he could pop up somewhere else next season. We have no idea. Or he can stay with the Steelers. But I mean, you're talking about a guy that's been chasing another ring.
Yeah.
For how long?
Hot second.
Like that dude wants it. He wants nothing more than to. I know. Like if he gets to the Super Bowl, dude, like this is for sure his life. He gets to the Super Bowl, win or lose, he'll retire. But I mean, that dude wants it. So, I mean, I think this is going to be a real good game. I do think, though, that it's probably going to end up, I think it'll be a Texans win just because of the defense. I think at the end of the day, like as much as Aaron wants it and the fact that DK will be back, I think that I think it's definitely going to be a Texans dub.
I think the Texans roll that shit. That's why I say that's my gimme, is because I think out of all the games of wildcard weekend, like I'm most decisive on that. I'm not an Aaron Rodgers guy. I think, this will probably be his last game, hopefully. It'd be a huge mistake to come back next year, like for Pittsburgh. It's depending on, but I mean, not scared whatsoever. I mean, that's best case scenario, honestly, is Pittsburgh coming into Denver. That would be great if that worked out.
I mean, so I saw
all the home teams won.
Yep. No, so I think I saw that it was in 2015 we beat the Steelers in the division, right? And then we beat the New England in the conference, and then we went to the Super Bowl, right, in
Yep.
2015. And then I saw today that was the DraftKings AI prediction was it was going to go the same route. That's what they. But again, I don't think
it's not far fetched.
Dude, I think Houston takes this though.
Yeah, easy. All right, Jacksonville Bills. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. We talk about fraud city and everybody throwing that word around. Jacksonville's the real fraud here. Ain't no way the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen's legacy is going to get broke on the back of Trevor Lawrence wearing grills. Ain't no way. Buffalo Bills are going to walk into Jacksonville and take care of that. B to A.
Well,
that's my 2 cents.
That I warned you about this. I warned you before the show. I warned you before the show.
Absolutely.
That what 3 weeks ago, the last time that I was on the show, and we were talking about it was right before the Raider game. We had the Raiders, Green Bay, Jags. So it's probably more than 3 weeks ago. It was like beginning of November, right? We were talking about the rest of the regular season. And we were talking about like Green Bay's coming, and you were like, "Oh, I'm worried about Green Bay," and I was like, "I'm worried about the Jags," and you're like, "You're worried about Jacksonville?" I was like, "Absolutely." I was like, "They need it more. They need the win more to make the playoffs," and you were like, "No, like if it's gonna be anybody, it's beat Green Bay." We beat Green Bay, and let's be honest, dude. Jags came up and put numbers on us.
Yeah, I don't dispute that. And there's some loudmouth fans out there for the Jacksonville Jaguars on the old Twitter sphere. They got their chests out, man. Like, I get it. They're pretty hot. And like, you could make the argument they're the hottest team coming into the playoffs on the AFC side. They're playing really good ball, but I will believe it when I see it.
No, I having said that, I tell you right now, Mahomes playoffs, ain't no way Josh Allen is letting him be a first round knockout.
Yeah,
ain't
dude,
no way. Like we have seen that man over this. Like there's a reason that man was an MVP and was in the talks. I think he's still in the talks for MVP this year, right? He is not going to sit there and let Trevor Lawrence outplay him. He's not like that man is going to do some wild stuff. Like if James Cook can't get it done, if his receivers can't get it done, he's going to get it done. He's going to drag his team across the finish line for that game. So I take Bills.
I think the Bills have played coy a lot of the year the same way that Sean Payton has, in that they know themselves, they know what kind of offense they are, and they go to what they're best at when it actually matters in the playoffs. So I think, you're going to start seeing jumbo packages. You're going to start seeing designed runs for Josh Allen that's just simply not going to be called in a random regular season game. But like when the playoffs come, winter football, they're going to play time possession, and they're just going to grind out games here from here on out. That's what scares me about Buffalo. Nothing about like their defense or high-powered offense or anything like that. Like they can just control the ball. Cook is legit. I have so much confidence in what Buffalo has done in the playoffs in the past, as far as like that kind of game plan that I think Jacksonville is definitely going to lose, and Buffalo scares me because at least how it's shaping up, or how I think it will, that's the team that would be coming to Denver. It's the last thing I want to see is Buffalo coming in. But all right, next game, Patriots Chargers. What say you on that? What's your confidence level in that game?
As much as I hate to say it, Dynasty is dead. Dynasty's dead. It's not coming back. But I think Drake May beats out Justin. I think Drake May. Listen, that dude has been talk of the town all season. Yes, they had the easiest schedule. I have zero disagreements. But
yeah, man, this is a weird game that I think could go a lot of different ways. This is a toss-up game to me.
It for sure is a toss-up, but I lean more towards Drake May. As much as I listen, I'll tell you what now. Justin's got that dog in him. He do.
Yeah.
I mean, got a broke hand and was like, don't care. Like, old Herbert's got that dog in him, and especially with Jim. I mean, today in the news with his brother getting fired from the Ravens.
Yeah,
right?
that's wild.
Super
wild,
wild news coming out of the NFL.
But I mean, yeah, it was him or Lamar, and they picked Lamar. And you know what? Good for them for standing on the ground. That's their MVP quarterback. La la la. But
that's their franchise quarterback, dude. And they have more faith in him than the coach. And we'll see where he lands. Where he lands at. But yeah, no, I think I lean more towards the Patriots.
New England, huh? Yeah. Backtracking real quick here. Bonkers says Bills want it more. Nobody wants to get beat by the Jazz because it is embarrassing, man.
Yeah.
Pussycat.
Nobody wants to hear Duval. Like nobody wants to hear that.
Dude,
nobody wants to hear it.
So cringe. So cringe. Richie has shoveled 4 feet of snow in his Providence up there.
More's coming, big dog.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's only just begun.
That's the one thing
coming.
This season. There's more things that's one of the things too, though, that I was kind of like really excited for, but yet we didn't really see snow games.
Yeah,
we didn't see.
Thanks, global warming.
Thanks, whoever controls the weather.
Yep, but I mean that is true. I mean, it was just like 67 degrees in Denver and sunny, like gorgeous for a Week 18 game, which is just wild.
Yeah. So it's like but like that was one of those things because I'm gonna do snow games. Like that's game changing.
Yep.
When you start putting in the snow, dude.
Richie was like, it's not the offense for Buffalo that has problems; it's their defense. And I mean, like.
You can say to a point, their receiver core is terrible. Their receiver core is terrible. Like I really thought that
their defense has been very inconsistent from memory serves me right over the regular season. Obviously, I don't really know their defense fine-tooth comb through this season.
Their defense has been inconsistent.
How they've done, but middle of the pack is what I would guess. Nothing incredible, but I mean something that like holds the line at least. Is maybe a wash. Maybe not a negative, but not a positive.
I think if you look analytically at the Bills, it's been just mostly the offense high scoring through Josh Allen and James Cook, because I would say the receiver core for the Bills has been lackluster at best between Coleman and starts with a K, and I can't think of it off the top of my head. It was on my fantasy team.
Well, they got
Shakir. Like between Shakir and Coleman, like they've just been lackluster. Like they have not played what I think people were expecting them to play as. So like I said,
I was gonna say Richie's along the same lines as me for that bottom game there. I don't like this is why it scared me a little bit of showing our hand, and I harped on that leading into this last game. Was I think the Chargers absolutely could beat New England, and then we would see them, and that would scare me. I don't like in division playoff games like that. I think even though their offensive line has gotten hurt. Omari and Hampton in the playoffs, again, a Harbaugh grinded out running attack just kind of scares me. Our rush defense has been really good this year, but it's just, again, playoffs just are different, man, in time of possession and just like, it's one thing to have some tricks up your sleeve, and Sean Payton's got tricks, but like it's, we're going to run the ball here, and let's just see if you can stop us. Everybody knows what we're going to do. That's the scary thing of the playoffs. There's some teams that can do that, force their will, and there's others that can't and don't have the personnel to force their will like that. But, man. Bonker says he got sunburnt during the game. I mean, it was a gorgeous game for what it looked like. I mean, insanity. I would love to get some snow going here, get that true – other layer of home field advantage that Denver gives, the
Absolutely.
Harsh winter, if you will. How cool would it to be to play Pittsburgh annually? Yeah, like we were talking about that earlier, Doc. That same path, it would be really cool.
That same path, and we won out.
Yep.
So now that we've gone through the wild card weekend.
Yep.
Do you want to go through divisional, or do you want to go to just if we get through divisional and the conference?
Yeah, I mean, so let's see here.
Who would you want to see?
Who would I want to see? I would want to see. I mean, the perfect scenario is for all home teams to win, and then Pittsburgh comes. That's best case scenario, but that ain't gonna happen. I wish that would happen. What I think is going to happen is I think either the Bills or the Chargers are coming, and I think it's probably more likely that it's the Bills. I think that I trust the Patriots at home a hell of a lot more than I would trust the Jaguars at home. That's just my 2 cents. So I would have more confidence in us seeing the Bills next round, and that scares the hell out of me. I think we can beat them. I really think we can because we can kind of transform our offense as well. And I think we'll see a whole different style of offense come that game, whoever we play. So I think we would win that game.
And I think our defense and I think our defense will break down. We will break down their O-line for sure.
What's your best case scenario? What's your ideal matchup?
My ideal matchup, kind of want to. So I have two. So either the Jags. I want vengeance.
Revenge would be nice.
I want revenge so bad because I took the hot take way back when that we were going to win out, and it was so close. And they're the ones out of everybody. They're the ones that we lose to. But so I want revenge. So that would be nice. And then you don't have to worry about the Bills because they got eliminated first round. So it helps you there. But the other one that I really kind of want to see is the Patriots. I would love to see the Patriots in the divisional round. Sorry. Mostly because I'm so tired of hearing that because they're both sophomores, right? Drake May and Bo. I was so tired of hearing how Drake May is this great quarterback and he's all this stuff. When I know Bo's better.
I was going to say, I cannot wait for that matchup as well. And I think Dak mirrors my sentiments is that I don't think that can happen divisionally. Because we're 1, they're 2. 1-2 is never going to match up in divisional round. Yeah. But conference round, man, that's kind of, that's where my head would be because they will beat Houston, I guess, as I would predict it. At least how I see it in my head, that Houston would play New England in New England. And I think, I think New England could take care of business there. And then it'd be us, Buffalo. And if we take care of that, then it's going to be a Denver, New England AFC Championship game, and I would love that. But man, that'd be a gauntlet to go through Josh Allen and then have to play, Drake May and like what this New England team has turned into. I mean, they're very well rounded. And again, they play the kind of offense that they have the two-headed monster of running backs, Stevenson and then. Henderson, obviously.
Yep.
They're super talented. I love Henderson, man. That is the one running back I wish, if we could do it over again and trade in Harvey's, spot for Henderson, I think that would have been A-okay in my book. But Harvey's a little flawed to me, at least. And I know that's something we'll get into here. That's our very last segment that I wanted to pull up just, at the very end here of just regular season overall. But
if we make it through the Super Bowl, we get there.
Okay.
We win the conference. Who do you want to see in the Super Bowl?
Who I want and who I think are two different things. So who I think it will be is Seattle, because again, Seattle getting that number 1 seed is going to be monumental home field advantage, same as Denver, if not a little different twist to it. Seattle is primed to represent the NFC, in my opinion. But who I want is I want a Kyle Shanahan-led San Francisco 49er team to play a Super Bowl in their home stadium and us to still walk in and beat them in the Super Bowl. I would love a Broncos 49ers. So many correlations, so many crossovers. It's our NFC mirror, basically. Love Christian McCaffrey. So I would love that.
Okay.
What about you? Who's your NFC team?
My NFC team that who I think it will be, I do agree with you. I think it might be Seattle. I know that was like a couple people both in the network and in the comments were like, I want that revenge. I want that matchup again. I want that, you know, that rematch. Honestly, the Rams, Matt Stafford.
Yeah. Have a Kroenke Bowl, Kroenke Walter Pettin, you know, all in the family bowl. Yep.
Dog, I'm telling you right now, that's what it could end up.
I can see that Stafford swan
I don't think
song.
it's gonna be the Panthers. I don't think the Panthers are gonna pull through.
No, definitely not.
I don't
Chicago,
think the Bears. Ain't no way the Bears like this. You want to talk about it was gonna be a good game that I'm probably going to watch. Bears versus Green Bay. That's gonna be like that's like us going like that. That's if KC. That's like if KC was in the playoffs right now with Patrick Mahomes healthy,
sure,
and us going first round.
That's a
right?
brutal rivalry.
That would be just that's going to be an absolute slugfest of a matchup.
For sure. Yeah, I think 49ers will beat the Eagles, and I want to see the 49ers prosper, but we'll see how it goes, man. The playoffs are always funky, always curveballs. There's always like, oh man, I did not expect this result. There's always, especially wild card round. There's always, you know, any given Sunday, man, all these teams are way closer together than I think people realize in a parity sense. So you just never know. For sure. All right. Well, let me get a couple more comments here. Dak definitely wants a Seattle-Denver Super Bowl as well.
I think Dak was the first one I think I saw that was like, I want that. I'm like, all right.
He wants the smoke. The other bro shows up. George, what up, dude?
Yeah, there he is, baby. What up, George? Always, we got Tim in the house. What up, Tim?
Wow. There you go. What up, gentlemen? How you doing on a Tuesday? Appreciate y'all dropping in here. All right. Just the last thing I wanted to get to, and then we'll get out of here, is just a big picture look at some of the stats for the overall year. We'll probably bring this up again and have more of a yearbook show of just kind of looking back on the year that was. But right when week 18 ends, I am always curious to go look at the overall big picture stats. And I know this is something that's been kind of floating around Twitter as well of like, would you look at that? The totality of stats that is, target share distribution, yards, and just kind of who got what throughout the season. So let me share this real quick here. So I don't want to go through every single one of these, but there are just a couple rooms or stats that I want to kind of go through and see if you are surprised at all. Rushing. Dobbins with 772 on only 10 games played is crazy to me.
Can you pull it up for us?
Oh, sorry.
There it is.
Yeah. So Dobbins still by far leading this team after 10 games and 772 out of 10 games. Still, I had kind of forgot how amazing of a season he was having. As we talk about the future of this room in the offseason, I don't know how you're not, happy with the result of Dobbins right there.
He was on track to break 1,000 for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was on track to break 1,000.
No, 5 yards a carry, man. And that's amazing for a starting running back. There were a lot of those games that we were very inefficient. That's really with just some big games, so that wasn't even necessarily the most consistent showing, at least for Dobbins. So it could be even better. But this is the one that I kind of wanted to really highlight. RJ Harvey, man. I have been, and this last Sunday was kind of a representation of some of the weaknesses and maybe some of the things as to why he dropped in the draft and wasn't as highly touted. Is because he's not an overall running back. He doesn't excel in everything. he has traits that are amazing and he does very well. But like there are some things he absolutely struggles with, and we see that in running in between the tackles. I would say I would consider it vision. He loves bouncing it to the outside, and he's not very patient in waiting. And that shows, man. 17 games, 3.7 a carry, and only 31 rushing yards a game on average. Those are super low numbers for someone that we are hoping is like the future for this position. What do you think of RJ Harvey's stat line?
I think it's let me look something up right quick before I answer that.
Come. Also wanted to highlight a couple other things. Only 70 yards or 78 yards, only 12 carries for Marvin Mims. So only on 12 occasions did we give him the ball in a rushing sense. And I think that's crazy because that's like his one trick that he like really does well, and we saw huge success in last year. And we'll talk about Mims, I'm sure, when we get to wide receiver in itself. But I think that's another notable line out of all this of like, man, Marvin Mims like didn't really get tons of opportunity to run or at least do that aspect of a trick play, quote unquote, out of the backfield.
So I look at it like this. As now I've got his stats pulled up. Who was the number one running back that got picked in the draft this year?
Ashton Jeanty.
Ashton Jeanty, in all the games he played where he was the lead back, right? His stats are 266 attempts for 975 yards. Okay. His average was 3.7.
Yeah.
Right. Now, he was
higher
the
volume,
lead
sure.
back, right? With only 5 touchdowns, right? Harvey's got 7. Granted, the majority were reception touchdowns, right?
Yeah. I was going to say he's got 5 tutties receiving.
But so as far as if you're looking at the stat line, for 10 games, he was running behind JK, right? JK was our number 1. So he's not getting the attempts, right? He's a rookie, right? He's not the lead back. So he's learning. He's going to get better.
Yep.
And he is more versatile than Jeanty is.
Yeah.
Right? They have the same, the guy that was number 1, everybody was like, this guy's going to crush it. Goes to the Raiders, has the exact same average.
Yeah. I mean, the Raiders also are dog shit. There's also that.
Sure.
They're a terrible team. And he didn't have opportunity in the same manner as what we puffed our chest out about in the offseason is how grand our offensive line is. And we got a top 5 line in pass pro and in rush.
Exactly.
Rush
but what I'm saying is that but again, he's behind JK.
Yeah.
Right. He's behind JK, so he's not getting the same amount of attempts. Right.
Sure.
Jeanty had over 100 more attempts. Right. And played every snap.
Yep.
Of those games, right? So if you're talking about like if you're looking at rookie to rookie, I think this is indicative that he's going to get better. He's going to learn. He's going to figure out that patience, and he's going to we're going to see this guy become a monster for sure, right?
Yeah, they're apples to oranges because I think Jeanty is an overall back, and like even the biggest strength of Harvey, Jeanty pretty much matches. Like, not a great, I guess, apples to apples, I think, as far as their skill set. But I guess I more so just kind of wanted to highlight 2 things out of the rush room was just how well Dobbins did. Man, for 10 games, a 10-game sample size, dear Lord. So that man needs to be brought back. I mean, you can say, well, he's coming off an injury. Well, he was coming off an injury last year. He's always coming off an injury. So like he got, 772
I'd
coming off.
I'd like to see I'd love to see him not be injured and see. I guarantee you he has 1,000 yards season. Guarantee.
Yeah. But that, that's why you have Harvey. That's security blanket. Like that's a nice 1-2 punch there. So I like that a lot.
Good old Bo Nix.
Number
3.
This is the meat and potatoes of really what I wanted to talk about is the receiving court. Because it is crazy to me, the yards ranking here and who has what when we look at year end. Does anything, I guess, to this jump out at you?
Ooh.
Let me blow this up
So,
a wee bit.
So the only thing that jumps out at me, really, so yardage, as far as we got Troy Franklin number 2 at 709, right?
Yeah.
Pat Bryant, right, at number 4 with 378. But the average yards per reception is 2 yards more.
Sure.
As I think that's the first thing that jumps out at me. And the fact that Cortland Sutton just barely broke 1,000 crushes me.
I mean, there were games where Court was, a ghost.
Not targeted. Not targeted.
Absolutely MIA. I mean, last game was, one of those. I mean, he got nothing last game. Obviously, strategically, like that wasn't because, the Chargers took him out or something like that. But, I mean, yeah, Court could honestly, if he would have been highlighted and actually gotten the volume every single game like some of the top tier wide receivers do in the NFL, I mean, he's looking at a 1,300 yard campaign. I would think at least 10 touchdowns. He had 7, which is crazy. I would have thought he would have had double digits in touchdowns too. But yeah, Court had, that's a pretty good year for Court, really, but he could have been so much more.
That's an average. That's an average year for him.
Right? Yeah,
that's an average year for him. And again, the biggest reasons why he had such an average year is because of the number 2.
Yeah,
because how many times did we complain, ask, what are we doing with, Sorry, my wife is showing me her sourdough loaf that is rising, and it is overflowing the bowl. I apologize.
Gotta love the homemade bread. You betcha.
But look, Cortland only has 20 more targets than Troy Franklin, and there were a lot of those games where it was just Troy getting targeted. We're like, why are we just trying to force?
Dude, that's my biggest note. Look at the target difference between Cortland Sutton and Troy Franklin. Only 20 in the entire year, 124 to 104. And then there's a significant drop, to Evan Ingram, and then another huge drop to Pat Bryant. But Troy Franklin is by far and away number 2 wide receiver on this team. And moving forward needs to be looked as such. He's putting up the numbers we hoped Mims would be. Troy is already transformed into the number 2 that we've been after. And, I will say, Rich saying that Sutton's not a number 1, he is a great number 2, that you're not wrong there. I've always kind of said similar things about Sutton, but I think we've always been looking for someone else other than Sutton. We know what we're going to get from Sutton. Sutton is a very above average wide receiver. Maybe he's not a true number 1, but he's an above average wide receiver. He's a known commodity. But the jump Troy Franklin has made has been nuts to me. That sticks out right out of the gate.
What I look forward to is seeing what these numbers are going to look like next year, because the number 4 man, in my opinion, has more surefire hands, and Pat Bryant had some absolute outstanding catches. Had some absolutely outstanding plays.
100%.
I think the reason why we didn't see more of him was because of his rookie status, and they're like,
"Oh, for sure."
We got 2 guys that are, we got the veteran, the guy that's, second, third year is Troy, second year.
Franklin, second year.
Yeah, second year. Right. So those are the 2 but every time we needed a third down conversion, right? Every time it was just Troy's covered, Sutton's covered. It wasn't going to Ingram. Who was it going to? It was going to Pat. So I'm really excited to see. And as far as Mims, Mims is the wild card.
Look at the bottom side of that. 322 receiving yards for Marvin Mims, who has been touted as a number 2 wide receiver. he's been touted as, you know, a step below Sutton, but like certainly above everybody else, at least in the eyes of at least most Bronco fans I know. And it's just not the case. It's a lie we keep telling ourselves, that Mims is going to be something, and he's not. He is what he is. He's got some great traits. He is. I will never say an ill word about him on special teams. The man is a Pro Bowl special teamer, but he shouldn't be looked at offensively like the major weapon, like focal point of the game plan. It's just because it's a lie. It's just, you know, devil in the details of the numbers here. He's just not getting, you know, and that's what I foreshadowed in the running thing. Like, what was it? He had 12 attempts to run the ball, and that's like his thing. Like that's why you're on the field, man, is to like keep the defense honest, to make sure they know where you are, because you can do a multitude of things. And like, we didn't even give that out as an option. No. Super disappointing to me.
I mean, I really think that Sean Payton just sees Mims as, he's like, I think the other thing is that because when we lost Mims to injury for 2 games, and we were like, our returns are
special teams was rough.
Abysmal.
That's why I say that, like,
abysmal. So I think that's the other reason, is just like, hey, we have Mims, we can utilize him sometimes, but we're not risking the special teams guru that he is.
Yeah,
in trying to get him the ball more. You know?
I just, in the offseason, when we talk about candidates to get added to that room, never do I want to hear out of someone's mouth, oh, I don't think we need that kind of wide receiver because we got Marvin Mims. No, I don't. I want to pretend Marvin Mims doesn't exist on the offense. He is a pure special teamer, maybe the best special team player in the league. I'll pay for that. Like Walmart money, that is a huge commodity to have consistently throughout the year. As somebody that is just nails special teams wise, you don't have to worry about. But
so my question then for you is, because I remember this from last year, dude. I remember hearing you lose your mind about our wide receiver core. Lose your mind because you're like, they're all the same wide receiver.
They're mid. They're all mid. No one's special.
They're all mid. They all do the same thing. None of them are standout wide receivers.
They are.
The question that I have for you is, do you think we try to sign from a different team, or do you think we try to pick up another rook in the draft?
No, I think we're done drafting.
I think we're done drafting wide receivers. I think if anything, we're going to be looking outside to other organizations that need to trade. Again, I've said it many times. I feel bad for this guy. I think his just talent is purely wasted. I want Garrett Wilson to come to the Broncos. I like Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson.
But that's the home run that I think you do, honestly. I mean, that's the home run you need to make because you need a playmaker that's better than Sutton. Richie telling me that, you know, Sutton's not a number one. He's a super bona fide number 2. Well, then, that's the next step. And that's what I was saying is, like, why do we need to add to the mid room? We already have too many bodies in the room, in my opinion. Like, we already have too much mid. We need someone high or no one at all.
Well, and that was the thing that I used to always argue about. Like, you used to always get this argument, and it was because you need a guy. Because what's the one thing that you and Johnny and a lot of people said, that our team is not arrogant, right?
True.
We don't have those players that I'm like, listen, I understand. Like, you can't have that. Like, you don't want a DK or George Pickens or a Jerry Jeudy, right? When Jerry Jeudy, Stephon Diggs, right?
Yeah.
Like when you have these guys that are just arrogant, drama queen, you know, bland, you don't want to add them to the team. But you do want but you do need a slight level of arrogance of somebody that's going to look at defensive backs and, I mean, just look at them on the line. Yeah, just look at them on the line and be like, yo, I'm about to just absolutely toast you right now. Like, I want you to know that. And then go out and do it. Right? Like, you need that kind of arrogance.
You're not.
I don't think our wide receiver core has that.
You're not wrong. We don't have that bad man. You know, we don't have somebody that like is truly a dog. We don't have a offensive Talanoa Hufanga. Let's put it that way. We don't have that grind dog that's like gonna get up in your face and like set the tone on that side of the ball. The closest thing we have is Bo, and I mean, obviously, like Bo is that guy. He can make those crazy eyes and he can intimidate some people. But like, man, you need a skill position player that's like gonna take it to the house, and we don't necessarily have that kind of guy on offense. So, and that's very true. Very true.
I mean, unless Pat Bryant just comes out of his shell next season and just becomes that guy.
Pat Bryant's not that guy. He's not that guy. If he was that guy, we wouldn't have drafted him. To your point, like we have an MO of the personality type, and it's Cortland Sutton. Man, Cortland Sutton is the perfect personality type for what embodies.
Guys, I got donuts. Let's go have a great game. No, I want the guy that's like, kill him.
Yep. F those kids. Chain gang, let's go. Correct. It's very true. The last thing I want to hit on this, and then we'll get out of here, man, is just the Evan Ingram, debacle. And again, I would love to be proved wrong that like when the playoffs start, we finally get like, huge highlights of Evan Ingram, and like Evan Ingram just explodes. But man, it's a felony to have one receiving touchdown for Evan Ingram over the entire season. That's nuts on 16 games played. One touchdown. And his skill set, I mean, he's a red zone threat. Like he is perfect in mismatch over the middle. I just don't understand it. That's super befuddling.
But that's the thing. And again, I said this weeks ago, and I'll continue to say it. And that's, everybody is so happy that we have Bo and it's so rose glasses when it comes to Bo, right? Then it's really hard for people to call out when Bo messes up, right?
Sure.
How many times did we see one of those 76 targets for Evan Ingram, and it was a dog water pass on a third down conversion, and we were like, so you could sit there and lob the ball up, right? You could throw an absolute mortar to Cortland Sutton, right? Sutton gets knocked out and then do the exact same play and drop it right in the bucket, right? For a 40-yard gain. But Evan Ingram only needs to make 4 yards. And you're outside, you're too low. Like, a lot of the issues that we had, because when Evan Ingram did get it, like, unless it was like under coverage and just trying to get a first down, he did make those plays. He did. Like, his average was what, 9.2 yards? So he's obviously, if he can break away, he breaks away.
Yeah.
But he has to have legitimate targets, not when he's covered by two defensive backs, right? Because
I was going to say,
it's a check down route.
Targets are deceiving because you don't know if they're designed targets or not. Like, he could have been the bailout and a terrible throw by Bo. And, I can remember quite a bit of instances where, like, yeah, Bo, that was a terrible throw to Ingram, but it was like super off schedule. That wasn't what the play was designed to be. Like, things broke down and you didn't expect this and like whatever. Ingram wasn't drawn up enough in the beginning of the year specifically. I remember stretches of like, man, can we at least give him 5 targets? Like, can we get something designed up for Evan Ingram? It was embarrassing. Wasn't even involved.
Don't know, and I don't know if that was because even Evan Ingram said earlier in the season,
it's a tough playbook to learn.
He was like, he's like, I hate it. He's like, me and Bo aren't clicking. He's like, but that's not what I came here for. I came here to play. I came here to be a weapon on this offense, and I'm not being utilized that way. And I don't want to go out that way. So again, I like I said, I do think that a lot of the passes that he got, and when they did have the one touchdown he had was a design play for him, and it was executed perfectly. Like, that was a really good touchdown.
Do you remember the slant in preseason that went for like 75 yards like his very first major target in the preseason. I want to say it was in the second game of the preseason. Might have been the third. But I mean, he took it and just ripped it. And that was like the welcome to the Denver Bronco moment for Evan Ingram. And that's literally the only major Evan Ingram play I can think of that like encompassed major yak, encompassed like a wow play, that wasn't, just kind of vanilla, it was just a very blah, nonchalant kind of year for Evan Ingram. I hope it changes in the playoffs, man. I really do.
Yeah, I think we all do. I think that's also just more. I didn't grow up watching Sean Payton, so I don't know how he is when it comes to utilizing tight ends. If he like is a genuine because there are some teams that they just don't use them. They just you're there to block. That's what you're there for.
That's a great point, man. Great point.
But
in the same breath, I'd also be interested in the history of Bo Nix to know if Bo Nix historically has been a quarterback that looks for the tight end. And same thing you just said. Like there are some quarterbacks that just don't look at the middle of the field as much as others. But I don't know enough of Oregon tape to really say. Maybe that's a good fanatic Dak question.
Yes. That's something that's definitely outside of, at least of my wheelhouse when it comes to that kind of knowledge. But like I said,
but yeah, something's got to change. Obviously, I don't care who's the responsibility party.
Because that was the other thing that when we drafted the tight end rookie this year, and everybody was like, Loner, he's on the practice squad, right? He's got to learn.
It's a pipe dream, man. Like that's a make-a-wish thing. Let's see if that pans out 4 years from now.
Sure, right? But that's the thing, right? Is that, but the only way it's going to pan out is if we're actually going, hey, we have this guy who's really tall, who might have surefire hands. Let's build a play for him, and that's who it like. We don't have like one thing that Mahomes, Brady, all the villains, right, of the NFL, right? The tight end in them were tight
because it's a security blanket off schedule.
Like the fact that when Brady went to Tampa Bay and Gronk was like, "Oh, we're playing again."
I got
and
you.
Came out and it didn't even skip a beat, right?
Yep.
Was how the same thing with Mahomes and Kelsey. Those two, right? They are just, hey, even if it's a check down, even if it's a design play, I know you're gonna be there. And Bo doesn't have that yet with the tight end. I want to see it.
It's the feel, man. Find a zone and sit in it, and if it's not open, find another zone and sit in it, and I'll find you eventually. It's like,
and he's got backyard and he has football. Time in the pocket, and he has time in the pocket.
Like, Mahomes and Kelsey have been doing that for years, man. And that's the next tight end in Kansas City is not going to be able to do that with Patrick Mahomes. Like it's going to be a totally different thing.
No,
so we got to get that. Sure. We obviously don't have that between Bo and Ingram right now. So it doesn't matter if we bring another tight end in. We need to cultivate and develop the relationship we already have because Evan Ingram's a great player, man. It's not his fault. It's not a him thing, in my opinion. It's either Sean or Bo.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, all right. Like I said, we'll have another show, I'm sure, in the off season here to discuss, stats and nuts and bolts of the year in totality. But I just, I thought it was really interesting looking at that over the past couple days here and just kind of seeing where the dust settled as far as numbers for the year. But Grunt, what are your thoughts? Final thoughts here for a bye week. I mean, I guess we didn't really even hit on this show's name, Cancun trip postponed. We get to sit on our hands and just be fans of football for a weekend, which is really nice. Are you going to watch the games? Or are you excited for the bye week here?
No, super excited for the bye week. Really super excited for the bye week. Super excited to watch these teams play. Like I said, Bears Packers game, I'm definitely watching. Super excited for that. Probably the Houston game I'll probably watch as well. I know the way it's probably going to go, but the last Steelers game was also an absolute absolute dumpster fire nuts game. I remember I sat there and I looked. I was laying in bed, getting ready to go to sleep, and I looked up on my phone, Google, and I was like, "Oh, let's see, if the game's over." And it was like, right before the Ravens made that final drive, and I was like, "Oh, it's not even." Oh, so I turned it on and I got to watch the end of it.
Little did we know, whoever missed the kick, made or missed the kick, would eventually have their coach fired. I mean, I guess maybe Baltimore would have already, no matter what, fired Harbaugh at the end of the year if they didn't win the Super Bowl. But still, it's always crazy to think about those things on the last week.
Which speaking about
do or die,
Harbaugh getting fired, just for like 2 minutes, I just want to get your thoughts on this, right? So we've had Harbaugh fired, right? John Harbaugh's out. Stefanski's out.
Yep.
Carroll's out.
Yep.
Arizona's out. I don't know Arizona's coach's name. I don't even think
Gannon.
Gannon? Is that
I think
his
it's
name?
Rich Gannon's kid. I don't remember his first name, but yeah.
He's out. Titans fired their coach like game 3 of the season. Who
dumpster fire.
Yeah, dumpster fire.
Giants.
Titans reaching out. Giants fired their. Like, I mean, dude, when it came to coaching this season, both in college football and the NFL, they're dropping like flies.
Yeah,
like
it'll be really interesting though. I have not heard anyone talk about this. If there's any potential for a college coach, both either current college coach or just like a college legend that just a Nick Saban, if you will, any college coach that would be in contention for one of these jobs. It's only been internal NFL people, coordinators, former, head coaches. Haven't heard any college. And every once in a while you get a transition. Every once in a while. But I haven't heard any names.
That's the real question. And that's the real question, because I saw Schaefer put it out that VJ got an offer for an interview for the Titans.
Yeah. Dude, VJ's got, I want to say,
Eberflus. Shy brought it in that, Eberflus got fired, defensive coordinator. Eberflus is terrible, but
yep, for the Cowboys. Yep.
But how do you feel about the Titans? Sniffing at our defensive coordinator, and do you think that whether we win the Super Bowl, whether we don't get to regardless how this season turns out, Vance Joseph is not a Sean Payton guy, right?
No, he's not. He's not. He was not his first choice.
Do you think Sean Payton looks at Vance Joseph and goes, "Let's run it back one more season," or do you think he goes, "Good luck to you. Get out. I'm going to replace you with one of my guys," and then we have no idea what the defense looks like next season. Have no idea.
I think it's dude. It's hard to tell right now how serious some of these interviews are because of the Rooney Rule. So Vance, I think, has six interviews or 5 interviews on this bye week, which is crazy. As we're game planning for a playoff game, he's going to be interviewing for head coaching jobs. But man, if somebody offers him a job, I think he'll probably take it. It's probably the right time for him. It'll just be interesting to see who he brings with him. Davis Webb, I know he really likes, ROC. So or quarterback's coach rather. So I don't know, man. That'll be really interesting. I just don't know if it'll happen. I mean, if he doesn't get a head coaching job, obviously he'll be back. It's not like this is a make or break year for VJ as far as being the DC.
Yeah,
he's welcome back.
Obviously. So that leads me to the next question. If he takes a job within the AFC, do you worry about next season going against him?
No, not even a little. Much like I didn't give 2 shits going against the Arizona Cardinals defense. Whoop-de-doo-dah. Vance Joseph doesn't scare me at all. He does very well in some adjustments, I think, for the defensive side. But the reason our defense is the way it is because we have people like Patrick Surtain, and we have Nick Benito's, and we have high level talent that most NFL teams just don't have on that side of the ball. We are an embarrassment of riches on that side, personnel-wise. And I think to a certain extent, the defense, you make the same argument back in 2015 of like, well, was it, Wade Phillips, the reason for the defensive success, or was it because our defense was just full of ballers like Aqib Talib and TJ Ward and all of these just amazing talents, Von Miller, obviously. I think it's a little of both, but I would still, in this instance, I would still say, hey, tomorrow, VJ's gone. Jim Leonard, you're our new DC. I don't think there's a huge drop-off. That's just me personally, because personnel's still here. Players are the same.
I look at it like this. Yes, we have some ballers. We have some ballers on the defense, right?
Yeah.
However, it's like an orchestra, right? You need the right composer to make sure people in the right spot doing the right thing, or else it's just a mess, right?
The coordinator, sure.
Right. So you need the right person that can read offenses, which Vance Joseph can, right? We've seen it all season. Only had up until the Jags game, we'd only lost by a total factor of 4 points. Both last minute field goals, right? One off of BS call. Still bring that up. Colts game, we should have won BS call. But my point is he's now been under Sean Payton. He's learned. He's not the same coach he was.
Yeah.
He was our head coach. Could he go somewhere? Could he go somewhere?
Yep.
And have that same kind of ability. Like he could go and transform. Like say he comes to Tennessee and he transforms that team. Right?
Yeah. I mean, how I say it with any other defensive-sided head coaching candidate is you better have a good OC and you better have a good quarterback. I mean, I guess you can kind of say that about any potential new coach is you better have a quarterback because that's just kind of how it goes. But like specifically for a defensive head coach in his skill set, you have got to have a good OC. You have to have someone you trust to run that, because that is what this day and age of the NFL is offense, man. So, and that's why, we've seen it, man. We had Vic Fangio. We know this story. Like we had that. No thanks. And that's the same reason why, Wade Phillips wasn't necessarily the most successful head coach, because amazing coordinator, but when you don't contribute to the offensive side of the ball, and that's where, the meat and potatoes of NFL franchise money and attention is, then you're already at a disadvantage, in my opinion. You could be the best DC in the world, but you're just, you got to be a special person to be a head coach like that. I just don't know if VJ's that. So, but you know what? Hey, I wish him the best. I hope he gets a job, honestly, because I'll take Jim Leonard and 2 third-round draft picks as compensatory picks. Let's go.
There you go.
Turn the page.
Before we go, Rob coming to PTSD leverage. This day nightmare. It's how I feel, dude. Every time.
Yep. But yeah, man, it'll be an interesting news cycle here as more head coaches, I think, will be fired now that Harbaugh's done. And if they add any other like high level candidates out there in the world, people that you don't think of, like, there's always a wild card. What was it? Jason Garrett, the former Cowboys coach, was going to be interviewing for Tennessee. Nobody had that on their bingo card. A random old vet coach that just, wants to try her out. You just never know. Yeah. So it'll be a cool news cycle for that on top of wild card weekend. But, all right, Grunt, you wanna get out of here? You got any other final thoughts for
I think
wildcard?
I think about wraps it up for this week, and I'm looking excited to see for the show next week. Hope everybody that hung out with us tonight comes back again, because next week we're gonna see who we're playing. And
we'll know
there's gonna be a lot to talk about, loads to talk about.
100%. I'm sure there'll be crazy storylines in wildcard weekend. there always is some upsets. There just some random things that happen. So it'll be cool to talk about. And it'll be cool to just be a fan, man, sit on the couch and watch super competitive, meaningful football. Gotta love the playoffs, man. It hits a little different than, the crap of week 18, week 17 most of the time in the NFL. So it'll be nice to return back to entertaining football. But with that, again, y'all out there on the World Wide Web, go find us. We're the Orange and Blue Network. This show specifically, the flagship, Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue. But we're on all the socials. You can go find us. But with that, Grunt, always appreciate you, man. Always appreciate chopping it up with you on a Tuesday.
Always.
But enjoy those number 1 seed vibes, man. We are the top team, man. We are the caviar to the NFL. Let's enjoy it, man. Pinkies out. On that note, have yourselves a good Tuesday night and a good Wednesday. So for that, enjoy Broncos country. Well, my salute to you. Let's go.
Orange and blue, we're here for you. Talking Broncos all day through. No stopping us, we're on the loose. Come join the crew, no bad news. Podcast vibes so fresh and true. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Catching up on all that we knew.